Hmm? I can't hear that. No. What's going on, everybody? Michael Grant building. I see you. Don't Ride Dirty. Cordrick Ashley. I see you. Callus Auto Detailing. What's up, everybody? What's going on? Y'all hit that thumbs up button for me. Got Vince in the building. What's up? It's been raining all day for me. What's going on, Water Smart Supreme Kid? I see you. Routers Detailing. I see you. What's going on, man? I'm good. Okay. Every 6 to 12 months, you go up on your prices. Car Laundry Mobile Detailing. I see you. I've seen maybe one or two names that I've never seen on here before, or maybe just one. Um, I got a pretty decent memory. Some names, I hadn't seen in a long time. Some I've never seen before. Um, want you guys to do, if you're not already a member of the New Wave group on Facebook, go ahead and join it. It's not the New Wave that was started, about 2, 3 years ago. It's the one that I just started recently. It's New Wave by ANA. If you go to Facebook, go to the search engine and you type in New Wave by ANA, you're going to see the New Wave logo that's in the thumbnail of this video. And you're going to also see the ANA, my ANA logo uh, in the middle of the New Wave logo. And that's how you know you're at the right group. Go ahead and send a request to join, and I'm accepting everybody. I want to see, if you guys just want to show out, if you want to give out information, put your videos on there, before and afters, ask questions. If you're into lawn care, please put your lawn care photos up. It's not all about detailing. Anything business related, anything that can help anybody on there, put it up. No advertising, you know. Uh, if you're gonna advertise, you're gonna have to do that with your own audience. But please feel free to join. I just started it maybe about 2 months ago. We already at maybe about 230 members already. Trying to reach 300 by the end of the month. So y'all help me out with that. And y'all get my likes up. Got 12 in the building. Appreciate you guys for stopping by. George, what's going on? I see you, big dog. Oh, everything's going good, man. I hadn't really uh, missed a beat. Everything's great, man. One thing about me, I just really get caught up in the hype. I'm being cautious, making sure I'm safe, but other than that, man, I'm not letting it put fear in my mind. Um, Although I know people are dying from it and it is real, but still, you still got to live life, man. Can't stay in the house forever. My cell phone, I use Google. I use, he's asking, what do you use and how do you organize your schedule? Well, I have Google Calendar. And the thing about Google Calendar, it's a Google product and it's also hooked up to Google Maps. So when you schedule an appointment, you can put the person's name, address, phone number, everything in the notes. Once you put the address in on the day of your appointment, you could just press the address. It automatically goes to your maps and gives you directions to your appointment. That's how I do it. I talked to a guy this morning, and I scheduled an appointment for Friday. Uh, Last week I scheduled like 3 appointments for Monday for tomorrow. Uh, just keep it simple, man. Life is already hard. There's no need. But let's get into it. Um, I remember a time like when I first started, really when I first started, and I didn't fully. I had the correct mindset, but I didn't have. I didn't fully have the mindset that I have now. Now things change as time go on, but in the beginning, um, it's like when you do better, when you know better, you do better. So in the beginning, when I would see people do mobile detailing or car washing or anything like that, their prices would be, $20 for a car, 25 for a truck, 30 or something like that. And me not knowing any better at the time, or me not really thinking things through, because when I started my business, I didn't spend a whole lot. I didn't spend a whole lot of time planning. Um, Once I made a decision that I was going to do it, I started almost immediately. When I wanted to do lawn care, I said, okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start doing lawns. I went to Vistaprint immediately. Like, just once I decided, man, I'm about to do this. Went to Vistaprint, printed out some cards and flyers and stuff like that, and I started. I had the equipment already, so I started from there. So it wasn't a lot of thought process into my prices or anything like that. It was just like, it was just go time. Uh, Not saying it was the right thing to do, and I don't recommend you guys do. I don't recommend that anybody do that. You should do a little more planning, but that's just the way my mind operates. Like if I decide to do something, if I don't do it immediately, you know, I'll just worry myself to death thinking about it. So anyway, I jumped into it, and the whole time I wanted to do detailing, but I didn't understand how the equipment works. I didn't know how many watts I needed as far as the generator. Um, I knew the pressure washer was, but I didn't know how to hook up the the hose from the water tank to the pressure washer, whether I needed a pump, like all the questions that most of us have in the beginning. I didn't know that. So I didn't start that one off immediately, but like 6 months after I started A&A, I added the detailing services to it. And like I said, my price range was what I seen from others, 20, 30, at $50 you get a wash and wax, low prices like that. Didn't know any better. So I remember once I got my setup, when it's mostly fear, one mongering man. But actually, so once I got the setup and everything going, I went to I just advertised it to my customers, my lawn care customers actually. So they was with it. I gave them my prices. I remember I did an SUV I did like a Tahoe for like $35. I remember doing that. Um, but my customers, felt sorry for me, so they was giving me tips and stuff. And then along the way, I started getting from like complete strangers, people that I was doing their vehicles for the first time. They was uh, they was saying, "Yo, you're not charging enough. You're not charging enough." And then at the same time, I had people telling me that I was charging too much. Like when somebody asks me, how much do you charge, and I'll tell them 25, and they'll say, "Hey, I know somebody that can do it for 20," and all this type of crap. So, uh, like over time, was once I started like really getting to the midst of everything, once I started being a little more comfortable, and I started getting more customers, and after I get done with these vehicles, it just didn't sit right with me. Like I would spend, uh, somebody will pull up, I'll tell them 25 or $20, whatever I was charging at the time, and I'll start on their vehicle. And, like halfway through the vehicle, I'm thinking to myself, man, like I done did $20 worth of work 30 minutes ago. Like I'm thinking to myself, like, man, like I should be getting more money. And then it got to the point where I would do like 5 cars and then come home with like $100 or $120 or something like that. And as a grown man putting in that much work, you're supposed to get more paid than that. So that type of stuff sat with me for a while, And so I started gradually increasing my prices. But it took me a long time to just go ahead and just bump it up to where it is now. It took me a while to realize that I need to go. Well, I knew I needed to do it, but it was fear of losing my customers. Um, if you guys are members on the New Wave Facebook group, you would see that I put out a video today, and I was talking about fear. Uh, One thing about me is that a lot of the times I have a whole bunch of examples when fear pushed me to be successful. It pushed me to be successful because of the result. If I don't like if I didn't be successful, then the fear would be the result of what happened of not me being successful. So that pushed me to, even though I was afraid, that pushed me to just do it anyway. But because the thing is that if I didn't raise my prices, that eventually I was going to go out of business, because all it takes is for your truck to break down, or a big piece of equipment like a generator, something that costs 300-400 bucks breaks down, and you don't have to replace it or to repair it because you're not charging correctly. Uh, but again, I was like, well, some money is better than no money, which is true, but you also got to get paid what you worth. And when that statement is some money is better than no money, is when you when you only have one choice or the other, and taking some money is the better choice. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to be going around here. Hold on, let me wipe my screen off. Sorry about that, guys. I should have did that before the video. But you don't want to come out here. Uh, you don't want to come out here putting yourself in positions where where you have picked the lesser of two evils. You don't want to do that. But anyway, just like I said, I was afraid of losing customers, and the mindset that I have now, it wasn't the same as when I first started. Very similar, but it's updated over time. Uh, so what I started realizing was that I started looking around. I started, going to, when I go to department stores, or where I go to a car dealership, or where I go, just any place that sells anything. And I started to see, like, when somebody really wants something, when somebody really wants something, they're going to pay for it. No matter how much it costs, if they got it, they're going to pay for it if they really want it. I started noticing when customers pull up and say how much, versus a customer, versus a customer saying when can you do it. I started to see the difference. I started to see the difference in customers. I started getting to a different demographic, that that the prices that we are that we're coming in at, like, people's charging 150 for full detail, 175, 200, 250. You got people with those type of prices, where some demographics, that is really chump change to them. That's not a lot of money to them. You know, these guys are making 15, $20,000 a month. That's not a lot of money to them, and that's really cheap to them considering what they're getting done, because they're also looking at the service, but they're also looking at the luxury and the convenience of everything. The thing is that over time I started to realize that what I was providing people was a luxury. It wasn't something that people needed, really, because you could just drive your car through a car wash and you can just get the basic stuff done, or you could just do it yourself. But everybody wants the service, but everybody usually, sometimes people don't need the service. But certain demographics, they need the service simply because time, convenience. They don't have time to go to a car wash. They don't have time to wash it themselves. They don't have time to drop it off at a detailing shop or whatever to get it done. They don't have time for none of that. And the fact that you're coming to them, they'll pay you $100 just to come to them. You see what I'm saying? You know, I know some detailers charge a service fee, you know, so they'll pay for that. Now, if you want those type of prices, if you want to charge those type of prices, you have to look for those type of customers and clients. You got to look for that demographic. But so, like I said, I was going into stores, like going into jewelry stores, seeing, diamond watches and rings, 10, 20, 15,000. You know, we got a store here that sells Rolexes. They got a Rolex in there, 10, 15,000, and it's in the store. People buy it. You see what I'm saying? So I started to think, like, I can't afford that Rolex. The only one I probably can afford is probably the two-tone Datejust, which is like 5,000, and I probably still have to finance that. But what registered my mind one day was, they're not going to stop making that Rolex because A&A can't afford it. You see what I'm saying? When I started thinking like that, when I started to see that a Bugatti is $1 million, over $1 million. Actually, it's like 1.2, 1.5. I think some of them are higher than that. But they're not going to stop making a Bugatti because I can't afford it. They also got to look at it this way. People are buying Bugattis, otherwise they wouldn't make them. So I started thinking about that. Somebody will be able to afford my prices. So I bumped it up. I went from 25 to 30, then 30 to 35. I started bumping it up. And this is just my maintenance detail. This doesn't come with any spray wax, no paste wax, no shampooing, no interior dressing, none of that. Just a wash, a wipe down, and clean of everything. So I started bumping that price up, started bumping it up, bumping it up, bumping it up. And did I lose some customers? Did some people stop calling? Yes. But here's the thing. Those people that stopped calling were people that only time they got a service done is when their car was destroyed. The only time they got a service done is when I was running a special. And that was pretty much it. It didn't really affect me. It was just that maybe 1 or 2 times out of the year they might have called me. They stopped calling because the price was too high. Just like I even had a customer one time text me. I actually had a customer to text me and say, "Hey, when you gonna run another special?" You see? Now this person is waiting for me to text or post a special so they could get their car done. And then when I finally get to do their car, it's destroyed. No tip, no nothing. People will take advantage of you. Um, you know, you ever notice some people pull up to you? Oh man, I need my car done, man. I need it done bad. How much? And you give them your price, and then all of a sudden they don't need a car wash anymore. You see? So some people are price driven. It's all about the price. Some people's about quality. Now the thing is that when my prices was low, I had to make it up with quantity. So I had to go out there. I had to go out there and start early and work hard just to clear $200. I would have to do like at least 7 or 8 cars, sometimes 10, just to get 200 for the day. And I'm talking about putting in work. But one thing that did teach me is it taught me, you know, it taught me how to deal with people. It taught me how to be able to look at people and kind of fill them out. I can already see where they're coming from. I know how to talk to them, and I know if it's somebody I want to deal with, because with those low prices, I was getting a lot of customers. It did get me seen, and it did show people what I could do. It also showed me what I'm capable of. Yeah, well, see, don't ride dirty. That's actually not a good mentality to have. Because if I'm not gonna make no money, I'd rather make some money. If you're gonna go out there, even if it's not a lot of money, if I had nothing on the books and nobody's calling me and I don't have nothing going on and I got a $50 gig, I'm gonna go get that $50 gig. Because see, I could possibly turn that $50 gig into something else. So like my mentality back then was to you know what, I know my prices are low, but I'm gonna make it up with quantity. Like if I have to do 10 cars, I will. That's how much I wanted my business to work. But I knew it wasn't gonna be forever. So I would never sit home and make no money. I will always go out. I will always go out no matter how much it is. I would rather make something than nothing, if those were the two choices. If it's something or nothing, I'd rather take a little bit of something than nothing. Now, get me what I'm saying. I don't want nobody to misconstrue what I'm saying. If I only had two options, which was nothing or a little bit or something. I'll take the something every time. And I'm pretty sure everybody else would. So I wouldn't stay home and don't make no money because I got a family to feed. But anyway, right. So over time, man, like I said, I bumped my prices up, and the whole time I was always in the back of my mind, way in the back of my mind, I was always feel like, man, I'm gonna lose customers. I'm gonna lose customers, but I didn't. I didn't lose them. Uh, I got a customer right now that's been with me since 2013, and she's been there when my prices were $20 for just a basic detail, and she was paying. I think when I used to do her car, I used to charge her 35 for her look, and she keeps her cars immaculate. They stay clean. Uh, and she would call me. She would call me like maybe once a month, at least once a month to do a car. I would go out there and do a car, and it would be nice. And she was paying, she was paying the price. She wouldn't tip, she wouldn't do anything, but whatever I told her, she would pay it. I also do a lawn as well. So over time, I went up on her lawn. I went up on her. I mean, she was there through all the up, like she was there at my starting price when I first started up to where it is now, and she has not left. So everybody's not gonna leave because some people will just, some people would just be like, you know what, I'm a, I'm gonna ride it out with this person because he does good work. I trust him. I know him. I don't want nobody else coming to my house. He's been doing it. I'm gonna keep letting him do it. So exactly, and that's a good way to do it. Add $5 to $10 to your detailing. Every 6 months. Every year you can go up $10, especially if your prices are low. And what'll happen is when those new people come in, you're telling new people that didn't know you back when your prices were cheaper, your new price, and you're getting these new people at this new price, and telling you, man, it ain't is something special, man. When people paying your price and then tipping on top of it, it's something else, man. Um, and like I said, don't be afraid. And even if you are afraid, do it anyway. Just do it. You're going to lose customers. So already expect that. So if you go ahead and put that in your mind, like, I'm gonna go up on my prices, some customers may say, hey, and now you're nervous because now a customer can call you and say, hey, a customer can call you and be like, hey, yeah, I need you to detail my car, tomorrow. Are you available? You're like, yeah, I'm available, but I just want to let you know, I don't want to surprise you with things, but my prices are gone up. It was 50, now it's 65. And you give them that time to make their decision or whatever. And for the most part, if they truly value you and value your service, they won't have a problem with it. Now, sometimes people just can't afford certain things. People have a budget and they can't afford it. It's nothing personal. That's life. That's business. Move on. There's somebody else that can. That's somebody else that can afford it. Don't go down on your prices. Don't. And the thing is, do not lock in. Don't lock people into prices forever. Don't do that. Trust me, you're going to regret it. Don't do it. I remember one time, and this is lawn care related. I remember one time, I didn't, I was just starting out. I wanted to make money. So I felt like if I had a cheap price, which most of us think the same way, if I had a cheaper price, I would get more people and I would make more money. Now, realizing that, I was, when I started my business, I think I was like 34, 35. So I'm still young. I feel like, I can still bang it out, do my thing or whatever. I told this person that I will trim their bushes and cut their yard and lock them in. I think for like $50, which is low. For like $50, the yard wasn't that big and the bushes wasn't that big, wasn't that much, but still, it should have been more than that. I locked them in. Man, when I tell you, I did that yard for I just stopped doing that yard this year. So from the beginning of my business for like 8 years, I was doing that because I locked them in on that price. And they never, if I would say, yo, do you need any pine straw? No. Do you need any, fertilizer? No. They would never do anything. All they wanted to pay was that $50. And that's all they was going to pay because I locked them in. They took advantage of that. Right. But see, here's the thing now. I see you, George. I was taking headlight restoration jobs for the low getting money, but went up to somewhat shops to what shops charge. Got less hits. I found my worth though. Yeah. The thing is, man, and that's the good thing about it, because now I was talking to a friend the other day, and I was just like, wow, I can do two cars and have well over $100 just doing just some wipe down vacs, washes, and wash, wipe, and vac is what I call it, and do two or three of those, or just two, and have way over $100. When I would do two back in the day, I only have 40, $50 at the most. And now you're doing less work and making more money. And that's still because you're doing physical hard labor. And I know if you guys are anything like me, I know when y'all show up to these houses and y'all start doing these details, that a lot of you guys are not taking breaks. A lot of you guys are probably not even going to the bathroom. What is that glare? Hold on, let me move my phone. There we go. A lot of you guys are not even taking the bathroom. Like, y'all just going in and working until you done, and then eat, take a break or whatever when you're done. And trust me, they're peeping outside and seeing you putting in that work, and it's hard work, man. If anything, my thing is, anytime you got to set an appointment and you got to go to a person, they should be expecting to pay top dollar. It's not going to be nothing cheap. You know, it's nothing cheap about it. Now, it is low cost to start a detailing business, but it's nothing cheap about it because think about it. You're driving around with gallons of water. You're carrying weight because you got chemicals, you got a generator, pressure washer, vacuum cleaner. You carry around all this equipment that can break at any time. Sometimes it don't give you no warning. How many times convenience isn't cheap? Exactly. So how many times you pulled on that string on that pressure washer, the string came out, the string came out in your hand. How many times you went to a job, pressure wash wouldn't turn on. How many times you went out there and one of your O-rings inside your wand or your hose bust. I'm telling you, if you're working like I am, I don't have time to tell customers. I don't have time to tell customers like, oh, I got to pay for this, I got to pay for that, I got to pay for this. I'm not doing that. That's up to you, Austin. If you want to do that, if you want to offer any discounts to the customer, that's up to you. Uh, I would I would let them ask me, but I wouldn't offer it. I would let them ask me because if you're that means you're on the come up. That means you're just starting out. That means you don't have the equipment that you want or the equipment that you need to be more efficient and to be more flexible. So you have to use their stuff. So now you're on the come up, so you need to make as much money as you can. So you shouldn't be trying to do too many discounts unless they say something about it. Now if they say something about it, then we got to work something out. But if they don't say nothing about it, I'm not gonna say anything about it, and I'm going to try to get as much money as I can, so I won't be put in that position. Because see, now I don't want to give my customer leverage over me. Yeah, I get people call me for a maintenance detail all the time. Never ask. You've been asking. Yeah. I mean, most of the time they're not gonna ask. They're not gonna ask. But me personally, I just don't want them to have leverage over me. Because I just my luck, I know I'm gonna run across somebody gonna say, man, can you go down, man? Come on, man, you using my water and electricity. I'm gonna run across somebody like that. Um, Another thing too is to be more flexible because I don't want to be limited to always having to go to somebody's residence, or when I go somewhere, I'm looking for somewhere to plug my vacuum cleaner or connect my pressure washer to. So I just don't like feeling that way. I like to be able to drive up and I got everything I need. And I knew that I was going to have to do that when I first started. So I came into the game, even though I had a little cheap generator. It was like 900 watts. It was this little cheap $100 generator, and I can't I can't I, I mean I couldn't wait to get started when I got everything, man, because I wanted to pull up and I wanted to have everything I needed. And right now, people just wait for your businesses. Just wait. Your business is done for. Haha. Raising prices. Good luck. I don't understand what you're saying. People will do it to themselves, just like cleaning service, landscaping, any other maintenance service. Yeah, I don't know where you're going at NY Fishing. Maybe adjust your price if you're using electrical water. Got me wanting to add lawn service ASAP. Should I? Oh, okay. Convenience. See, some shops wanted to outsource me for headlights, so I knew I was worth the charge. I see. Yeah, I already see. The economy is down. Okay. I charge everything separate. Regular Ross is separate from my full detail. Have you ever authored monthly subscription service, or maybe, you know what? That's a good idea. Um, that's a good idea. Uh, that's something that I've never really like implemented it, but it was something that customers always uh, gave me the idea. I've in the past month, I've had two customers say, like, can you come and do my car, like once a month or every 2 weeks? I talked to a guy that did the same thing and he wanted to pay me like a monthly fee to get so many, washes a month or something like that. And I agreed. I was like, yeah, sure. That's a very good idea. Loyalty program is a very good idea. It's called marketing. That's a very good idea, Chef D. I've never. That was never an idea I pushed, but I'm not opposed to it either. Yes, I have a website, and I definitely work on SEO. And Just started watching my YouTube. I learning a lot, working on landscape for 10 years. I've been looking into car detail. I want to start. You know what? It's funny, man. Every time somebody watch my videos, if they're lawn care, they want to start doing detailing. If they detailing, they want to start doing lawn care. That's funny. I'm seeing a lot of. I don't know if it's because of me. I'm not going to even take the credit for it because nobody has told me that. But I'm been seeing combination a lot. I've been seeing businesses that, like, even here in my town, I've been seeing that combination, and I haven't noticed it before. I'm not gonna say I started, but uh, well, you know how it is. Like sometimes when you do something, or it's just like when you buy a car, it seems like everybody got the car now because you got it. Y'all get where I'm coming from, but that's dope, man. I'm glad that you can learn from watching my videos, and at least it inspire you, get you motivated to try to do something. Right. Only if it's an emergency and your generator won't start, that's the only time I use their power. Exactly. That's how I feel. But I'm just saying, that's me. If like Water Smart, he said he's been doing it for 4 years and he's been successful. That's cool too. If that's the route you want to go. Just like I said, don't cost a lot to start your business. And I'd rather you do that than to sit back and do nothing at all. Raise my prices 15 cents. Business has been increased. Great. You're also, by the way, your willingness to give information and help detailing community is amazing. I appreciate that, Brian. Corona hasn't affected y'all yet. People are gonna make less money and do simple stuff like clean the car themselves. Just wait. Oh well. Hey, but see the thing is that NY fishing, let me tell you something about me, man. Whatever you trying to do, it's not gonna work, man. It's not gonna work because you only gonna do two things, right? You either gonna get with the program or you ain't. And you know what? Y'all give me just a second. Since he wants all the attention, because he must ain't been paying attention to A&A, that stuff like that don't bother me. Oh yeah, y'all already know where he going. He going to the block party. And that's the thing, man. You actually got people on here that they follow you just to see what you're doing. And they act like they come in, they act like they're your friends, so they can keep up and see what you're doing. But I don't know nobody on here personally, so it's really nothing you can say that can affect me. But some people, things must not be going good for their it must not be going good on their side. And they can't believe that it's going good for other people. You see what I'm saying? And the thing is that even when I'm struggling or when I'm doing well, I still got the same attitude. You see what I'm saying? Because I've struggled before. Things have been bad for me before. Things have been good for me before. And I push through it. If I feel down because things are not going good for me, then you know what I do? I stay to myself and I grind until I come out of that slump. That's me. I don't go around messing with other people. You know what I'm saying? That just shows the type of person you are. But the thing is that if you tell yourself that because of this virus, if you tell yourself that that things are down or nobody's gonna want to do that, if you tell yourself that, then you're putting that into your brain. You're putting that into your brain, and your subconscious mind takes that in, and it takes it in. If you keep telling yourself that, then your subconscious mind is going to auto suggest it. Like I said, I told y'all last week to read the book Think and Grow Rich. Go and read that book. He talks about that in that book. He talks about auto suggestion. And what he was saying is that if you tell yourself something, if you put this in your head, over time it'll be a part of you. And you'll start to be fearful and you'll start to be afraid to make decisions and to make a move. And that's the thing. A lot of people don't realize that. But if you say the economy is down, if you say people are going to start doing their own cars, if you say that's what's going to happen to you, trust me, that's what's going to happen to you. It's not that it's not that the outside world just does it to you. You're doing it to yourself, because if you put that in your body, if you put that in your brain, what's going to happen is your actions are going to show. You're not going to be eager to do it. If think about it, if you playing a sport and you know you're not going to win, or you sit telling yourself, "Oh, I'm not going to win," you're not going to put yourself to win because you've already lost. You already lost before you started. You see what I'm saying? You already lost before you started. But I knew who that. I've seen him on here. He's been on here before. Well, you know what? No, that dude ain't never been on here before. That's a new person. He's never been on here before. So, but you know, you got people that could be somebody that we know who it is. We know their name or whatever. Not that we know who this is, but this is somebody that's probably got another another channel, comes over here to do that. But you know, it don't bother me, man. It don't matter because, like I said, yeah, fleet watches and all. Because I go back to $20. Like again, like I told y'all, something is better than nothing. When you're back against the wall and you have no choice, you can work your way out of a slump. So, you know, enough about that. I provide the professional research service part-time for 22 years. Now my part-time is my full-time. I have no regrets. Awesome. It's definitely because of you. The info is blessing the information. I appreciate that. Jersey is a tough market. I resigned my corporate investigative position after 23 years. with us being in quarantine, we can still make money. Our customers can leave money in the car or Cash App or Square. We are essential to them. They need us. Right. And that's a good way. That's a good way of thinking, you know, because what happened is the media put out all this stuff. And, I got people, well, not I got people, but I see people who are shutting down or saying, oh, I'm shutting down. I've seen people, they're so afraid they just shut their whole business down. I mean, to each his own. I'm just not built that way. I'm gonna keep moving forward. Of course, I'm gonna take all the necessary precautions, but you can't stay in the house forever because of this virus. You can't stay in the house forever. And if you do your research, if you go back in the past, the same thing happened when they had the flu epidemic. The same thing with smallpox, the West Nile virus. All this stuff come out, and life goes on. Before now, it was all types of diseases out there. You're around diseases all day long. You're around viruses all day long and don't even know it because you can't see it. And because of the constant reporting on it and the constant articles on it, it's making people very afraid. Now, don't get me wrong, that disease is serious, but at the same time, you think the whole world is going to shut down for a disease? And then think about it. All these people that's shutting down, all these people that's taking out loans, all these people that are actually, um, you know, doing these what you call it, like you don't have to pay your loan back, and you can get 3 months off your car or 3 months off this and all that type of stuff. When everything gets back to some type of normalcy, when everything gets back to what we're going to call the new normal, you're going to have to pay for all this stuff. How are you going to pay for it? You see what I'm saying? So to me, when people talk about all, everything is going to shut down, that's fear. And if you're gonna let if you're gonna let fear control you, if you're gonna let fear make you just stop because this is what somebody gonna say, then that's you. You know what I'm saying? But me, you know, I don't want to be overtaken by fear. And the thing is that, like I said, if you go to the New Wave, I talk about how fear pushes me to go hard. Fear pushes me to be successful because the other side of successful is going to be my fear. I'm gonna actually be sitting in my fear if I don't push myself. So the thing is that me personally, I feel like if somebody just says, they say, okay, you got this virus out here, and everybody say, okay, I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna quit because I don't want to catch it. All right. This is the way I look at it. It's gonna have to be something real crazy for me. It's gonna have something to be real crazy for me to stop my business. A&A is one of my best successes. I've made over the years with my company. I've made more money than I've ever made in any job that I've ever had. So it's gonna have to take a lot for me to give this up. I'm not giving this up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not giving it up so easily. And to me personally, if anybody is giving up that easily, they wasn't doing good to begin with. And this is just an excuse to say, hey, oh, it was because of the coronavirus, it's because of the corona. That's why I had to shut it down, blah, blah, blah. That was just an excuse to give you a way out because you was already on your way out. You just needed a good excuse to tell people when they ask you about it. That's how I feel about it. It's me personally, really. But if I put in all this hard work and it's to the level that I am now, and it's gonna take a lot for me to shut it down. If it's cash, you spraying it down with disinfectant. Southwest Dispatch, I see. Yo, Austin, have you started your business yet? Has your business detailed a vehicle yet? Semi trucks still rolling, they need cleaning. We're very essential and my service is essential to them. Awesome. Wet Look Mobile Detailing, I see you. Right, but the thing is that don't don't let that fear creep in, because see, over the years, you and other people have put that fear into your brain. Fear, fear is not real. We make it real. Fear is basically what you programmed yourself to fear. Maybe you had a bad experience and it's lodged into your memory forever and you just can't get past it, but it's not real. It's in your head. Yeah, keep motivating us. I see you. Yeah, I'm gonna keep putting out those videos and just keep, pumping them out. Yeah, I was asking Austin, I don't know if I'm saying your name right. I don't even know how to pronounce their last name, but Austin, you asked anybody running into noise issue or running your generator in residential areas. I'm wondering if I get any noise complaints. And I'm asking you, have you done any vehicles yet? I've been deal I've been detailing for a company in the shop, and now I'm getting my together to be 100% over here on my own. So to answer, no, I haven't yet. Okay, you know, again, that's what I'm trying to get you guys to see. Now you see how you putting this stuff in your head about something that ain't even happened yet. About getting noise complaints. Just get started, man. Get your stuff together and get started. Don't worry about what can happen negative. If it's going to happen, let it happen. But don't think it's going to happen and slow yourself down. You see, I get a lot of questions all the time about, can I start without having war, without having, can I start without having, um, can I start without having a pressure washer? Can I start this? Can I do this? Are they going to care about this? Are they going to care about that? Or, you're you're thinking too much into it, man. You know, what your actions right now should be, your actions right now should be everything you need to do to get started. That's it. You want to detail your first car. You know, my goal, like I said, my goal, I didn't even, the crazy thing about me was I didn't even I didn't even sit up there and come up with my prices. Like all this stuff that I'm telling y'all, I wasn't doing it. I'm giving y'all, like, I'm gonna tell y'all something. I don't know everything, and I'm not just this smart guy. All this stuff I'm telling you is from experiences that I've gone through. Everything that I tell you, I've experienced it. That's why I can tell you. Don't don't overcomplicate things. Business is hard already. You do not need to make it hard. Don't help hard. Don't help difficulty. You see what I'm saying? Don't help it. You need to make it as simple as you can. And me, I was like, you know what? I was like, all right, I want to get started. So uh, I started doing the research that I could do. I started doing the research that I can do quickly as I could. Uh, I went to go buy a trailer for lawn care. I saw a trailer. I bought the trailer, but when I'm buying the trailer, I look over and I see the water tank that I still have to this day. I see it over there in the corner. I'm like, yo, that's a water tank. I'm like, hey, how much you want for that water tank? He said $90. Now, I've been doing research on water tanks. I was looking at 100-gallon, 200 gallons. Looking at, man, those things was expensive. And then on top of that, it was expensive to ship. The shipping price was just as much as the price of the tank. So I was like, man, I'm not ready to pay $400, $500 for a tank. He telling me it's $90. I really didn't want it because it stood above my truck. And then, I was always a dude that always wanted to be fly, always wanted to look good, always wanted to be cleaned up and looking right all the time. Wanted my truck to be looking good, wanted everything to be looking great. That was my mindset back then. I was kind of hesitant to buy it, but I was like, man, it's $90 though, and it's 300 some gallons. I said, you know what? Cool. I said, you know what? Cool. I'm gonna buy it. I said, let me see how I look on the back of my truck. I slid on the back of my truck. It was all over. I was like, that don't look right. But I went with it anyway, and I'm glad I did. That was the first time I went against like vanity. Vanity, not for just me, but just the look of everything. That was the first time I went against it. And it was one of the best decisions I've ever made because I was able to go to car lots and because I had a lot of water. Uh, Now I had to change my shocks and suspension and front end and all that type of stuff. I had to do that once or twice, but still, I had made so much money that it didn't even affect me when I had to get it fixed. But like I said, I bought the water tank. I got a hose, ran the hose straight to the pressure washers. Let me see if it's gonna work. It didn't work. I did some more research. Once I had water to come out, like I said, I didn't even care about prices. Once I got water to come out, my mindset at the beginning was I need to be able to go to somebody's house and complete a car. That's all I cared about. Because trust me, when you start working, if you ever get started and you start working and you're going to look back and you're going to say, wow, I can't believe I was worried about that. You're going to start to see what your real problem is. And my real problem now is, and I ain't going to lie, I've been procrastinating. And that's one thing I got to stop doing. I've been procrastinating. But I bought it last year. The end of 2018. I bought a 100-gallon low profile water tank that fits in my truck low, and I could actually put a cover and cover the bed up and everything. I still got it. I got a skid mount. I got a skid plate for a skid mount plate or whatever from a pressure washer. I just bought me a hose reel. I bought me a smaller vacuum cleaner. So I'm buying all this stuff because I'm about to build a new setup. My biggest problem now is setting up and putting everything away. I've gotten faster because I keep upgrading. I got little totes to carry all my chemicals and bottles and towels in. So, I don't have everything is kind of has some type of organization. So I could just, put everything in the bag, grab it, put it away. And I've been, you know, I've been making my setup time and my, and putting everything away quicker. You know what I'm saying? But it'd be a whole lot better when I get hose reels, when I actually can pull my trailer and have my detailing equipment all together all the time. Now I can go do a car, and after I do a car, I can go do a lawn, or vice versa. That's my biggest thing right now. That's my issue right now. That wasn't something I thought about back then because I was just thinking I don't have that many customers. I'm not worried about that. Let me just go ahead and get started. Now, to be honest, do I wish I would have sat there and planned it out perfectly and then started? Yeah. But you're not gonna be able to plan it perfectly because you don't know what direction you're gonna go in. You know, you don't know what direction going. You could go in saying, you know what, I'm gonna do cars, and a guy come up to you and say, hey, do you pressure wash houses? You go, yeah, no. Well, I got a house over there. You go pressure wash his house. The next thing you know, you get a pressure washing contract. You know what I'm saying? You went in detailing, but now you got a pressure washer contract that takes up your whole time. Now you ain't got to really have time to really detail. Pressure washing is your primary. So now you have to build a setup that's more catered to pressure washing. You see what I'm saying? So you never know where the business is going to take you. So you're going to need to basically, go ahead and get started and see where your business takes you. Just get started. Scared money don't make no money. Exactly. Afraid to make a decision. And that's people downfall. Afraid to make a definite decision and move forward. You should consider writing an auto detailing ebook. I see you. I see you, Chef D. I've thought about that. Awesome. I see you, Sharif. That's awesome. Oh yeah, I just went to the store, man. I had to grab me a Modelo, man. I went to the store. I actually had to go to my unit and go ahead and set up because I got three details tomorrow. I got a maintenance detail on a Cadillac CTS. Then I got a full detail on the Ford Fusion. Then after that, I got another maintenance on a Suburban. So I need to go ahead and go to bed and get some rest. But I like to grab me something. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I get me like a little shot of Hennessy or something, or a Modelo, mellow me out, kick back, watch a little TV, then I go to sleep. But man, this is probably my first. It's my first Modelo, maybe this year. It's my first Modelo this year. Like I don't drink that much. Or how do you have time to do more than two in a day? It's all planning. It's all planning, man. Like I said in the beginning, man, I was just running around, man. I was just getting it done. However, it wasn't until like I started getting really, really busy until I started had to keep up a very good schedule. I'm able to do two or more in a day. You keep a good schedule. Uh, don't waste no time playing around. Like uh, over time, over time, I developed a technique where I get faster. You know what I'm saying? Like I always try different methods, like, start on the outside first, then go on the inside, or start on the inside first and go on the outside. I make sure that when I'm detailing, I'm always trying to basically uh, like kill two birds with one stone. Like, for example, um, like Super Clean. The reason why I like Super Clean is because you can use it on so many things, right? So, you know, you may have a wheel cleaner and you might have a tire cleaner, and now you got two bottles. So first you clean the wheels, then you go back and clean the tires. You got to spray two different bottles, right? All right. Well, with Super Clean can clean the rims and the tires. So now I'm cleaning the wheels and the tires in one spot. Plus, I start noticing that chemicals, if you get the right chemicals, the chemicals can do the work for you, making you faster. So when I'm getting a wheel cleaners and tire cleaners, you spraying it on there, it's like spray on, spray off, and then the dirt falls off. All I gotta do is get the car, rotate the tires, do it again. The wheels are clean. I cleaned the wheels in 5 minutes, all four of them. All right. While I'm cleaning the wheels, while I'm on that side of the vehicle, I go ahead and do my skirts. I go ahead and do the skirts on both sides. I also get the jams. You see what I'm saying? So like over time, I found how to get faster. Plus, the thing is that I always attempt to do as much as I can, even if I don't complete it. I've been in situations where I had to do 10 lawns in one day, and I end up doing 11. I woke up that morning knowing I had to do 10 because I had somewhere I needed to be the next day, and I didn't want to do 5 this day and 5 that day. I wanted to do them all that day. So the day before, I knew I was going to have to do that. So what I did is I prepared myself. I already had my equipment ready. I had my trailer hooked onto my truck. I had all the things I was going to need. I had my clothes ready. I had everything filled up with gas. Uh, and I started, you know, 7 o'clock on the dot. I started. I was on my first lawn. And I was gonna do 10 and found out that I had to do one more, and I did 11 in one day. Uh, the reason why I'm telling you that is because the thing is that sometimes you step out and just say, "Oh, I need help. I can't do it by myself." You know, you're gonna need help sometimes, but I've never had the luxury of having consistent help. I've hired help here and there, but they never work out. But I'm saying this to say that a lot of the times people talk themselves out of it. They say, okay, man, you got 5 cars today. You never done 5 cars before in one day. So you go, oh, I'm not going to be able to do it. And you already talked yourself out of it. So you turn the customer away, or you don't even attempt to do it when you could have possibly done it if you would have started early enough. Make sure look at their locations. Okay, this one is here, so you can make a route which will make you faster by taking a certain route. I do all of that. Uh, and the thing is that my mindset is, people will say, man, you got to do this. You got to do this big old yard all by yourself. I'd be like, yep. Man, how long that's gonna take you? How long is it gonna take you? And I don't even think about how long it's gonna take me. I just say, however long it takes. You just gotta have that mindset, man. Now sometimes you're gonna fall short, man, but then you know where you stand. Then you know what you're capable of. But don't talk yourself out of it before you start. You see what I'm saying? Right. I see you on Turo Sanchez. Uh, I don't like specials and discounts. I don't like them, man. But again, whatever you got to do to keep your business going, do it. As long as it's not illegal. But I don't like specials or discounts because when you run specials and discounts, my experiences with it is that people will wait for your specials and discounts. They won't even call you. That car be filthy, and they'll sit there and wait on a discount. I don't like doing that. You know what I'm saying? Me personally. But like I said, I'm not opposed to doing it when you're back against the wall. I see you say that people are losing jobs. Um, but I guess I just been all right because most of the people that that my customers and clients are, most of their jobs is essential, I think. So I haven't had any issues so far. That's so that I'll just say that, but I'm not with the discounts or the specials. But you got to do what you got to do. Early start early and at night. Use Google Calendar to set up your appointments. He flipped cars, so should I give a discount? I cannot talk. It works. I have to put my earphones in my ear so I won't get interrupted. You can't work and talk, right? Yeah. That's the thing, man. And it's good to know yourself. See, the thing about it is, you can lie to everybody else, man, but dang, don't lie to yourself. You know what I'm saying? You know you a certain type of way. You know this is how you are, then you just gotta, make adjustments, man, until you can be able to do that. But if you know, like he said, he can't talk and work, so you the type that you stop what you're doing and talk. Right. So if that's how you are, that's awesome. I definitely have a business license. I just figured out per her right now in these service might need a discount or a deal. Yeah, I wouldn't offer it until they say something. The thing is that you're in business to make money, not save people money. You're in the bit, you know what I'm saying? That's their job to save money. You're not in the business of saving people money. And I hate to say that, but that's real. You're not in the business of trying to save people money. You're in the business of making money. If now if they say, hey, if it's a customer that you had for a while, like I've had lawn care. In lawn care, I've had customers that told me, hey, my husband lost his job. I don't know if we can afford you or whatever. And I've cut people yards for free until they got back on their feet. You know, now I wasn't doing it every week. I might have went to doing it once a month you know, or twice a week or something like that. But I wasn't doing it every week because the thing is that you can't. The thing is that you can't be giving out too many discounts, man, because if people hear that you're giving discounts, everybody's gonna want a discount. And me, I just know some people will actually take you on that. So I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't offer anything when it comes to lowering your money. When it comes to lowering your price, I ain't never offering that. You know, and I think I'm that way because I went a good while. I think I went like 2 years with like extremely low prices. So it's like I'm not going that route again. You know, around a 10% off discount only for the first time to get my foot in the door. Yeah, I mean it's called marketing. I mean advertising, marketing. And I kind of did the same thing when I first started because my prices was so cheap that it got my foot in the door. I mean that works. Um, and my prices were low because it was also a fear of people saying, "Oh, you too high." Um, you know, it would, and every now and again, to be honest, like every now and again, I feel some type of way when somebody, I feel a little some type of way when somebody be like, oh no, they don't want to go with it because my prices are too high. Like I do kind of still have that in me, but I fight with it every day. Like I'm like, you know what, you know, I rather, I rather I'd rather do less work, make more money, do less cars, do less lawns, and make more money. Trust me, because I was bumping when I first started, and I had those cheap prices. I mean, I got if y'all go to my Facebook, you might have to scroll a lot because I got a lot of posts on Facebook. But if you go all the way back to the beginning, yo, you will see them cheap prices. You will see $25 for wash and wax, $35. I'm talking about, and I'm doing the inside, the outside, and waxing the car by hand. I didn't even have a DA polisher. I was doing it for $35, and I was pumping. I mean, I was doing a real good job. I was doing a real good job, and they knew it, and they was taking advantage of me. And like I said, man, I'm not doing that no more. I'm not doing that no more. Like I'm gonna get out here and I'm trying to once I saw the potential, once I did somebody car like my first full detail was 2017, to be honest. I started my business 2012. My first full detail was, and my prices was still kind of low, but that's when I started raising them at that time. I think I was charging like 100 for a car, and like I think I maxed out at like 150 or something like that. And the guy used to be my neighbor. He just moved, but he rolled up on me. He was like, "Hey man, I need you to detail. I need all this done. I need." He was telling me what all he need done. I said I could do a full detail. He was like, "How much is that?" I think I told him like 160 or something like that. He was like, "Okay, yeah, let's do it." He had a dually. I got video on this. I forgot the title of the video, but that was my first like full detail ever. So I think I've done them before, but it was my first time doing it and getting paid like A&A. Like that was my first time doing it. And before I knew it, I started getting more full details. But I got paid for it, and he gave me a big tip. Like he gave me $200, and I only was charging him like 150, 160. He gave me $200. That's when I started to see that there's people out there that can really pay for this, and doing one vehicle and walking away with 150 plus the $50 tip, it opened up my eyes. I started to see that, man, you know what? Yo, I don't have to do 5 or 6 cars. I don't have to do. Just think about it. At $25 a car, and you might get some SUVs or some thrown in there, but you're gonna have to do at least 7 to 8 cars to see $200. And to wash 7 to 8 cars can take you like all day, literally. And I'm talking about maintenance is like I'm talking about wash, wipe, and vac. Literally, it probably take you that long by yourself. So now my prices are up, and I'm like, okay, if I want to hire somebody, I still walk away with a good payday. I can get paid and pay my help. You see what I'm saying? But if your prices ain't right, how you gonna pay somebody when you need help? You see what I'm saying? If you charge, because I would literally see guys charging $25, $30 a car. They got help. Of course, they're getting done with the car faster, but how much are you paying your guy? You paying them? What you paying them, like $5 a car or something? Because I don't know, man. I'm just too old, man. Like I'll be 42 this year. Like I'm too old to be working for like that. Look, that's for children. That type of money. That's the type of money I pay my son. Like, man, my son go do a few yards. You know what I'm saying? I give him like $10, $20 a yard sometimes. I've been paying him way more now. When he come help me do yards. We could do 3 yards. He'll have about $50. So like that's for kids. Like I just can't do it. Let me see. People complain over details prices, but running to the shops paying way more for the same service, but not the convenience. Yeah, yeah. But the thing about it is, they can say what they want. They can complain. You know, they can say what they want, they can complain, man, but it is what it is. I tell them what my prices are, and that's it. That's it. This is my price, you know. And when they say, "Oh, that's too high," blah blah, and you know what I say? I smile to them. I say, "Thank you. I understand. Here's my card. If you change your mind, call me." And I leave. That's it. I leave, man. It's business, man. I mean, there's certain things that we can't afford. You know, as detailers, there's certain things that we can afford. All we can do is just suck it up and, you know, wait till we can get the money to afford it. You see what I'm saying? Like go up in Best Buy. It's a lot of stuff in there that you ain't got the money in your pocket unless you finance it. It's a lot of stuff in there that I want. I want one of those drones. I want the nice one though. Them things expensive. Exactly. Correct. Set your prices and be professional. Just be patient. They'll come. Just takes time to do quality work. Right. So like the thing is that you know the thing is that man, ain't you worth it? Like aren't you worth it? You know what I'm saying? Like come on, man. Like when you go out there and you really work, like you really out there working, you putting in work, and you come home sore. You have one of them nights where you come home sore, you wake up the next morning sore, and you got to go do it again. And you was on the car that long, and you only made $50, and you feel to yourself like, man, I wish I would have told him. I told him 45. I wish I would have said 65. And then the thing about it is, you're not working for them. You don't work for them. You know what I'm saying? Work for them. You know, a lot of and I know they're paying you, but you don't work for this person. You're providing that person a service. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to get what you're worth, man. The thing is, exactly. Right. So, because there was a time that I felt that oh, that's just too high. They're not gonna pay that, and I really believed it. You know, like I said, you know, once you know better, you do better. But just with experience and over time, just being in certain situations and certain things happening to me, I started to realize that, dang, you know what? Like they can pay those prices. Like I said earlier, you know, you got $10,000 watches, and you got guys got them on. You know, they got $1 million cars. You got guys driving them. I mean, a BMW 745, a BMW 750 is at least 90 to maybe 120,000, and I see them all over the place. You know what I'm saying? I see them all the time. So like, if I see a guy in the BMW 745 and he pulls up and he says how much, oh, I just need to wipe down, wash and vacuum, whatever, and I tell him, yo, 65, $70, and what? You know, okay. That blows my mind every time I see that. That blows my mind every time I that blows my mind every time I see that. Somebody says that to me, like, what? Like, yo, like, this is $100,000 vehicle. You know, some houses in Mississippi are $100,000, and they're nice. Like, they're not huge, but you can get like 1,300, 1,400, 1,500 square feet for 100,000, 120,000, something like that. And these guys are driving vehicles that cost that. So I know they're paying, their notes are like 1,000, 1,200, 1,300 a month, and you're complaining about $60. Like a guy rolled up on me. He had a Mustang, like a nice Mustang. Like I didn't even know what it was. I knew it was a GT, but he had all the little all the little. He had a design on the side of it. Like everybody doing with these Chargers, they got all the designs and logos all over the vehicle and stuff. And I mean, it sounded good. Like he had a. It wasn't a regular Mustang. It wasn't no base model. Looked like it was a 50, 60, $70,000 Mustang. He pulls up, and I said 60. He goes 60, and I'm looking at them like, man, if your car note is over $700, man, if your car note is $400, like $60 is nothing. So when you got people complaining, when you got people doing that, that person does not value you or your work. They care. Everything with them is price driven. And they'll take that car and they'll get a shitty job, and all they'll do is just say, "Hey, you forgot that. You forgot to wipe that. You forgot to do this. You forget." They'll do that. They'll rather pay the little $20. If I told that guy $20, that man would have been blowing up my phone right now to do his car. So nah, let me see. On your $20 details, where you're enjoying the business. In the beginning, I was, because it was working. I was getting $20. I was getting customers, and I was like, I felt like a full fledged business. It was working, but it was quick, man. It didn't take long. It took like maybe a few months, and I was just like, man, I got to charge more. Like this ain't it, you know. Luckily, I had lawn care, because lawn care, my prices were pretty decent. They was, with what everybody else was charging, and so I had really no problems with lawn care. Really that many problems. I was already good at lawn care, and I knew what the prices were already, so that didn't bother me. Yeah, man. People are price driven. When somebody pulls up how much, the price is gonna dictate whether they get the car or not. Not your service. Because like you could be doing a car and you got it parked out there and it's nice and it's clean, and they see it, but they don't care, man. They don't care. It's just all about. They don't care. It's all about. It's all about the price. And so most people are price driven, and that's okay. Uh, but I used to try to say, you know what? Let me come up with a package for different types of people and stuff like that. Let me come up with prices for a cheap person, this and this and that. And I'm just like, nah. Once your phone start ringing a lot, uh, you will get to a point sometimes where you'll look at your phone and you don't want to answer it, because you're already booked. You got so much work going on, and you don't want to book nobody else. And when it gets to that point, either your business is booming or your prices are too low. And you're not, trust me, man. When that temperature start to rise, when it get hot, and like Mississippi, it's hot, and it's not worth it. I'm telling you, it's not worth it. You'll be out there trying to do all them cars, man. Get your prices right. Don't be scared to raise them. If your prices are low, go ahead and start raising them. Go up $10. If you in the $20, $30 range, $40 range for a wash, wiping back on the sedan, depending on your area, that might be right and that might be too low. I don't know. But check the prices. Make sure you know that you're close to your competitors' prices, and go up, man. I remember I was on here, and I was talking with this one. Tolles was on here one time, And no, he wasn't. No, that wasn't that time. But I was talking to Tolies through the chat, like just like how I'm talking now. And he was in the chat, and he says we was talking about ceramic coatings, and they was talking about $800, $1,000, and this might have been like maybe 3 years ago. And he was talking about $1,000, $800, and it starts here. He got to do this and that, and I'm just like, dang. I'm like, yo, well, you in California, like they don't pay those prices in Mississippi. It'll never happen. Blah blah blah. This and that. I'm just talking, and he's like, yo, man, trust me, you can get those prices, man. It don't matter where you at. Somebody can afford it. He was just talking like that, man. I was just like, we was going back and forth. Even G Works chimed in. He was going back and forth. I was not agreeing with them at all. And I think totally different now. You know what I'm saying? Because I can only go off my experience and where I was at the time. But I think differently now. Like, trust me, like you just had Southwest Dispatch say he charges $350 up to $425 for a full detail, and he gets it. He gets that price. They pay for that. So trust me, it's a demographic that can pay that price. Now, the thing is how do you get to that demographic? How do you get in the door? That's the thing. So I try to avoid value shoppers and seek the ones with value quality. I can usually tell now, even over the phone, who I want and who I want to pass on. Yeah, over time, like I said, the experience, like I said that earlier, I could just tell by the way they talk. I could tell just by the words they use, the conversation, the way the way they're afraid to make a decision. Like sometimes, so I got customers who just afraid to make a decision. Like I'd be like, oh my God, so you're afraid to make a decision because you don't want to pay the money. So I just let it be, man. But like I said again, let me get off of here. I'm rambling now. It's time to go. But again, man, don't be afraid. Make definite decisions. Go ahead and make decisions. And once you make the decision, once you make the plan, carry the plan out. Because a plan ain't nothing but a plan. It ain't nothing but a plan until you carry it out. Starts at 550 and customers pay him especially because yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not surprised. So like um from what I've done seen, from what I heard people say, conversations I've had with detailers, different detailers, uh, prices be varying depending on where they at, their experience, and what all they can provide, and their demographic. So I can clearly see that happening because just like the other day, I did a pine straw job, and I'm adding up the pine straw how many bells they need. And once I did all that, I'm like, wow. Like, I was like, man, this is finna be, I didn't think they would pay it, because I've never done one that, whoa. Uh, so people pay for what they want. Best believe that. Go look at these women purses, all these Louis Vuitton and Birkin bags and bags that cost $1,000, $2,000. They walking around with them. They may not got $2,000 in the bag, but they got the two. Again, all you guys, I've seen a lot of names I've never seen before. Uh, Go ahead and join the New Wave. It's my Facebook group. I just started about 2 months ago. It's called the New Wave by ANA. Go to Facebook. You just go in the search engine in Facebook and you type in New Wave by A&A. And you're going to see the logo that's in this thumbnail of this video here. You're going to see that logo, the New Wave logo. And then it's going to also have my New Wave. I mean, not my New Wave. It's going to also have my ANA logo on there. And that's how you'll know you're at the right spot. But go there and ask, request, and I'm accepting everybody. Go out, come on there, man, and show me your work. I want to see before and after pictures. I want to see photos, lawn care, detailing, all that. Mike O'Neill, okay, I see you. Yeah, so everybody go and join that, man. It's only been up for 2 months, and it got like 230 members already. I'm trying to get to 30. I'm trying to get to 300 by the end of the month. Y'all help me out with that. If you know any other retailers that will mesh well with the group, go send them an invite, and I'll accept it. So make it happen, man. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you. Good to go. I see. And it's also a place. It's also a place where I want you guys to, converse with each other. Give out information, motivate each other here and there. But it's not the. It's called New Wave by A, but it's not about me at all. It's about y'all. So like, y'all be having all these questions for me and stuff like that. And y'all can put the questions in the group, and other members that have, that have experience as well can help you as well, and you can help people as well. You can show people what you up to. That's why I create the group in the first place. But I'm about to get out of here, man. I see you guys today, man. Shout out to the New Wave.